Welcome to Aptitude Destination. Today we'll be talking about the last minute tips that you can follow in order to perform well in UPSC 2024 CSAT. That is going to happen on June 16, the changed date, and the e-admit card has been out. I hope that you all have downloaded it and checked your address and you are ready with everything. So we are just going to run through the last minute tips that you can follow in this last 4 to 5 days. So this is kind of going to be a cumulative video of all the tips that I have found across the internet, be it blogs, websites, posts, or YouTube videos of famous people that give a really good guidance for UPSC CSAT 2024. So I have made a cumulative video so that you don't have to spend time surfing across them. So the first and the most important thing that you should be following is time management. I know this is kind of basic, but it is very important if you are giving any kind of aptitude test or any kind of entrance exam for that matter, and especially if you're dealing with maths and aptitude, this is a must. And I have written CAT, so I have quite a bit of idea of how important time management is. So in this CSAT, you are going to have 2 hours, and in that 2 hours, you are going to perform to the highest of your mental ability. To do that, I have one trick that you should have been following so long. I'm sorry for not posting this video sooner, but if you haven't and if you are still giving mock tests, I really recommend you to take the mock tests in the exact time frame that your exam is going to happen. For example, your CSAT GS paper 2 is going to happen around 2 to 4 p.m. I really request you to take your exam right at 2 to 4 p.m. So this will allow your brain to get adapted to that time, and your brain will also function at the highest of its capacity because you have trained your brain to be that way. And I have already spoken about this, but every aptitude entrance exam has to be treated like a sprint, not a marathon. So a sprint meaning in that 2 hours you are going to give the fullest of your ability. So basically in a marathon, as you know, you are going to run slow and reach the destination, but in a sprint you are going to start and finish as fast as you could. So that is how you are going to treat this aptitude exam. So that is why I recommend you to take the exam in the exact time frame. The next step would be to organize your questions. So basically there are going to be certain number of questions where you will know that these questions can be categorized as easy, this is medium, and this is difficult. So I am going to give you a bit of tip in which way you can do this, but it totally depends upon your intuition. One good way is that when you see a question and if you're able to solve it completely in your head, like you know the complete process of solving that question, I recommend you to solve it right away and mark the answer. So these kind of questions will be treated as easy questions. The next one is medium questions. So the medium questions are where you know the process of solving them, but you might get stuck in between while solving them. So basically it might be an arithmetic error, or it might be that you copied the question wrong, or it might be someplace just a minor setback that you are not able to go past. So these questions can be categorized as medium, and as soon as you are facing that obstacle, I suggest you to circle those kind of questions because you are going to come back to those questions as soon as you are done with your easy questions. So the next one would be difficult questions, or the questions that you are not going to attend. So basically these kind of questions are very tricky because once you see it, you are going to be thrown off guard. You might panic because you have no idea how to approach this question, and you might be getting very nervous, very anxious, and this might actually disrupt your performance in your next questions. So what I suggest is that once you encounter those kind of questions and you feel like I have no idea how to solve this. I have never seen this kind of question. I just want you to blindly mark cross near that question, and you are not going to touch that question until you are completed with your paper, because these kind of questions are going to suck all your time up and you are not even going to have time to attend your easy and medium questions. So the main goal here is to attend easy and medium questions as much as you can, and then go to the unsolvable or new questions where you feel like, okay, now I have time to explore and think. So this is how you have to organize your set of questions at the exam hall, and as might as well as you practice your mock tests. So, when I went across a lot of blogs and posts and everything, I saw that people are saying that the target attempt is 50 to 65 questions. And Rishi sir says that the set 1 to 40 questions have higher difficulty and 41 to 80 have a lower difficulty comparatively. But I have gone through previous year questions. I do see a pattern there, but it's not completely true because there are certain tougher questions thrown in between the last set as well. So I actually do not suggest you to go anyway, because it's completely your wish. If you want to go from backwards or if you want to go from the beginning, it's completely your choice, because I don't think that matters as far as you know that you can organize the questions. So the next one would be the target questions that we spoke about. But I would say before you set a target question, you need to know your accuracy by now. So you should have decoded your accuracy by now, because you would have given a lot of mock tests and you would have known that this is my range of accuracy. If I am attempting 50 questions, there are 10 questions that there are more or less 10 questions that always go wrong. So with this, you need to decode your accuracy and then set your target so that you match the amount of marks that you want to get from CSAT. So how you can do that is, it's very simple, because 1/3 of the mark is negative mark. So for every right question you can make a mistake of 3 questions. So with that it will balance, right? If you make if you make a correct choice in one question, you can go wrong in 3 questions, that will still give you 0. So with this, just calculate your accuracy and see how many questions that you have to attempt in order to get the target marks that you want. The next subdivision of time management is to not spend more than 4 minutes in any question. There are some people who say more than 5 minutes, but I would say more than 4 minutes is long enough, because you have a minute or so for each question. So I don't want you to spend more than 4 minutes on any question. So basically this will fall under medium or difficult kind of questions, because easy questions you are going to solve it right away and mark the answer. The medium or difficult kind of questions will be determined by you. If you know the process, it's going to be medium. If you don't know the process, it's going to be difficult. And if you are spending more than 4 minutes because of some error, or because of maybe you interpreted one method but it's not working, you have to let it go at that point of time, because this is the most difficult thing. And I made the same mistake when I gave CAT, and it kind of sucked all my time up, and I kind of lost a lot of percentile just because of that. So I do not want you to make the same mistake. So make sure that you are very conscious about the time you're spending on every question. If you're not able to solve it, just leave it right at that time. And it's very tempting and addictive to not give up on a single question, because you feel like, oh, I've already spent so much time on this question, just a little more I'll be able to solve it. But it does not work that way at all. So as soon as you know that you have spent more than 4 minutes, just drop it, and then you can circle it if you want, and then move on to the next question. And if you have time in the end of the exam, you can come back and you can solve that question. So this is all about time management. The next one we are going to deal with is the basic facts of how you can take care of your health and your sleep. because this is very important that you do not try any extravagant food right now, and you do not try any uh, cravings that you're having right now and then spoil your stomach, because you need your brain to be completely focused on this aptitude, and you do not want your brain to be focused on anything else. You don't want to use the restroom in the middle of the exam. So make sure you're sticking to staple food. Make sure you have a good diet, wholesome food, and do not eat too much before your exam as well, because you're going to feel sleepy. So make sure everything is set perfectly, and good sleep is very important. I know I cannot stress this enough, because people tend to lose sleep because of the anxiousness and nervousness that is common, but I want you to overcome that and sleep well, because that is going to allow your brain to function more efficiently. So moving on to the next tip, this is very important. I really want you to stay away from social media of any sort, because now people will be bombarding with new topics and new things, new tricks that you need to follow. So I do not want you to see any of that, because that is going to cause you unnecessary anxiousness in your mind, and you do not want that at towards the end of your preparation time. So stay away from social media so that you don't get stuck into FOMO, fear of missing out. And make sure you relax a lot, especially before the examination. Just meditate. Do not learn any new topic. This is not the time to touch any new topic. Don't think that okay, I can finish this topic in 2 days and do that, because it's going to mess up your previously gained knowledge over other topics. If you are confident enough, okay, you can try, but I don't suggest that personally. The next portion is revision. Apart from having your health and mind straight, we need revision. Of course we need revision, because you are not going to sit idly all this time. So we are going to revise, but there is quite a method to revise. As we already mentioned, to stay away from social media and to not touch any new topic. That is one rule of revision at this point of time. The next rule of revision would be to revise from your own cheat sheet. You are not going to use anyone else's notes, because that is still going to throw you off to some new topics. So just have your notes, revise them, and make sure you master all that you have learned, and go through previous year questions, because this is the most important thing that you can do right now. Going through previous year questions and being able to solve it in your mind is one of the most important skill that you will need for UPSC. Time and time we have seen a lot of previous year questions repeat itself. Even though if it's not the same numbers, they are repeating themselves in the same topic or the same method. So do not miss out on those previous year questions. And at this point of time, you might be tempted to rewrite certain things when you revise. Make sure you're not doing that, because your cheat sheet proves that you have already written it down and you don't want to write it again and again. So get past that temptation of rewriting things, because it's going to waste your time. So this also applies to the previous year questions, where you are revising through your previous year questions, not solving everything by hand, just in your brain. And when you're getting stuck in any process, you're not able to decode that this is how it should be solved, just refer to the answer and not waste your time solving it, because you won't be having enough time to revise all the methods. I guess we have come to the last portion of the last minute tips. So basically this is very basic. You need to get your paperwork done, be it the admit card or the IDs. Keep everything ready, go through the dress code and everything. So make sure you know the address, because you don't want any last time hassle. And basically that's it. I hope you guys do very well in this exam. All the best, all the best to everyone who has prepared this. I have such great respect for you guys. So I cannot wait to see you guys in position and serve our country. Thank you, thanks a lot. Bye.